tell us the status. What have you not, what have you completed or what have you not completed?
We have completed all the other units with all the line item window assessment except Shawn's unit.
So, except
For the back of his unit.
one unit or one building?
His unit, just the back of his unit.
Okay,
Pick up the
perfect.
unit front.
All right, we'll move on. Update on drywall interior repairs that were caused by beam and truss replacement. We have the first report, which is the uppers, right? When will we get the final report for the engineer assessment of the bottom windows and doors?
Well, I will ask all the information. Should we open it not by the end of next week, early next week after?
He said 2 weeks today.
Okay, remember next week is the holiday.
Right? 2 weeks.
Okay.
So
2 weeks.
So for the record, then 2 weeks, we
Yes.
will have the same
Yes.
assessment that we have in the upper windows. We will have for the lower windows and doors by the
Yes.
engineering firm.
But it will be a preliminary,
Why preliminary?
because the window is already installed, right? We don't have an idea about other items like
Or
the light,
frame.
we don't know.
That's what I was wondering, because we've been told this entire time that we need the window removed in order to assess it at all. Which is the
Exactly.
whole point of why this was such a pain in the ass, was because
Just a-
my window's already gonna be removed by the time I have to make a decision.
Thing is, according to Mr. Said, he asked us to do a preliminary inspection
Just
of
a
the
visual.
Correct.
Yeah.
On some of them, what we noticed is the weather strip around is dried out. We also noticed that the water comes, it sinks through the weather seal, which is dried out, and you could see the green stuff on the inside of the glass, which means that water is making way inside. Even I'm not too sure if it's causing any damages, but you could see that there's water penetration from below the glass.
So most likely
Right.
the most extreme, you can
Right.
see.
Some of them you can see that residents have placed several layers of caulking on the lower seal. So this is just evidence that these windows are in excess of 30, 40 years old, that putting them into a new facade is going to do damage. There is no two way about it.
That's still irrelevant because the owner is responsible for replacing them. And if they feel they want to need to replace them, I don't care who comes in and
You're
says.
incorrect. The association is
Let's look at banks
responsible.
decide about that.
Listen, let me tell you
Because they're going to
something.
investigate all these.
When a window is failing, the association has the right to advise the unit owner because their window is compromising the envelope of the building, okay? Just like the upper windows. If you have 40-plus year windows, and you think that those 40-plus year windows are gonna make it during this stage, I think you really need to reassess your windows, okay? Because the engineer is gonna do a same letter advising the association that he highly recommends that the association does not let a window to be reinstalled based on his professional opinion, because it will compromise the envelope of the building. That will come from the engineer. This board is guided by the subject matter expert, and if he's saying, do not let, highly recommend that this particular window or door be reinstalled, this board has a fiduciary responsibility to listen to the subject matter experts, because if we don't, that is a liability to this association.
And so he's using unauthorized scopes such as furring strips when the bank probably
Okay,
hasn't even
so
approved
you
it.
weren't at the last meeting,
It
you
doesn't
stopped
matter.
at theatrics.
No,
Stay
no.
on the topic matter.
Look,
Okay?
right here.
Stay
Chase,
on the
right here.
topic matter,
And you
Mr.
got it,
Construction
Susan,
expert.
email,
Stay
so
on the
that's-
subject matter. So, moral of the story is, once the engineer does the same assessment that he did for the upper windows, there will be photos,
Good.
he'll decide whether they pass or fail. Okay? It's that simple. All right? We've been talking about windows for a long time.
of the 15 buildings, Austral has done, I would say, at least 30 to 40%.
I don't want percentage, I want exactly how many units Austral has completed.
Okay, so we have all the spreadsheet there with all 15 buildings. On building 1, they have done two of them. And 2 others, they left notices because I guess this isn't a home. On building 2, they did, let me see,
Okay,
1, 2,
Larry,
yeah.
don't get me started. We expect a report, a spreadsheet. I don't wanna know how many buildings, how many units. I
But
wanna
that's
know
a
the
spreadsheet.
unit number, I wanna know the building, we need to know the unit number for our records. Weren't you working with them on a
I just-
spreadsheet?
I just gave the spreadsheet today to
Where is